Yeah, dandelions are super important for bees in Saskatchewan because they're the first wildflower that really blooms in proliferation. So the bees need to collect that first pollen and that nectar in order to get the population of bees really started. To feed the young eggs and larvae, increase the bee population so they can be super healthy by the time that summer rolls around. If you have dandelions in your backyard, those are a great boon for bees and you should keep them as much as possible.
It's more. My heart's got a honeybee. 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 Sometimes that honeybee stings me, but I ain't afraid, 'cause mama's got me in her arms. I ain't afraid, 'cause mama's got me in her arms. I ain't small, I ain't weak. When I spoil my sweet honey, well, it only makes me weak. But I ain't afraid, 'cause mama's got me in her arms. I ain't afraid, 'cause mama's got me in her arms.
Harvest, certainly, yeah. So harvest will often begin in the second week in July. But even before that, starting almost as soon as the bees come out from the winter, and that's anywhere from the end of March to the end of April, we have one, often two people who are here who have various skill sets who are learning to beekeep.
It's really just great. It's really simple living when you're out on a bee farm. Maybe even like most of the bee work is done by Steve and his small crew, as opposed to maybe on a cattle farm or something. Probably everybody helps out with the cows or something, but unless you're in the garden, we have this huge garden. I hope he shows you the garden. It's wonderful. And big greenhouse, so we mostly eat what we grow, and that feels really great, and everything is really green and clean out here. Kind of like just camping all the time, the good and the bad, but it's a pretty small price to pay when you live in the literal middle of the aspen forest.
My heart's got a honeybee. And sometimes that honeybee stings me. I ain't afraid, 'cause mama's got me in her arms. I ain't afraid, 'cause mama's got me in her arms.
I think that's something like honey. There is never the need to buy honey from anywhere other than where you're from. Especially in the prairie provinces in Canada, there's so many good beekeepers out there. To be honest, I'm still learning so much. I fuck up. I make mistakes all the time. I'm constantly learning from my mistakes, but it doesn't mean that I stop making them. But there are so many good beekeepers in Saskatchewan, in Alberta, in Manitoba, in BC, in Ontario. Anywhere in the world, you have people who are passionate about bees and passionate about making honey and passionate about making their living that way. So it's not just buy my honey because it's a Saskatchewan product and this is where it's produced and this is where it's bottled and this is where it's sold, but it's about buy stuff that's local to you because of that connection to the land, and that doesn't have to be esoteric, you know? This sort of like the flora around here, the trees, the flowers, they're not exactly the same as every part of Saskatchewan, but it is part of where we live.
Sometimes that